You may have heard about the case in Kansas where the federal judge said that the machine gun ban was unconstitutional, and he actually overturned someone's conviction.
Today, a federal judge dismissed the charges against a Kansas man who had a machine gun. The judge essentially said that the ban on machine guns is unconstitutional, saying prosecutors failed to clearly establish constitutional grounds for the ban. It's the first time a court has ruled this way since after a 2022 landmark decision from the Supreme Court.
In that case, the guy was charged with 2 counts of possession of a machine gun, one for an automatic assault rifle and another one for a Glock switch, which is basically a small device that you can attach to a pistol that makes it fully automatic. What the defense argued, the machine gun ban, as it's written, is not constitutional. And they laid out a number of reasons for this. At the end of the day, what the judge did is he declared the ban was in fact unconstitutional. Part of the analysis that the court had to go through placed the burden on the government to prove that the machine gun ban is, quote, consistent with the nation's historical tradition of firearms regulations. So in other words, the government in this case had to prove that there was some sort of historical basis for banning machine guns.
We have to have a history before you can ban something when you're talking about firearms. It's cut out this new carve out for folks to say, well, some of the things that you're attempting to do that maybe we've done for the last 40 or 50 years aren't constitutional.
And in this case, the judge said that the government did not meet the burden, that the government was not able to prove that there was this national historical tradition of regulating machine guns. And because of that, the judge found that the law in this case was unconstitutional as applied to the defendant, and he dismissed the case. So what does that mean for you? What does that mean for everyone? Well, frankly, at this point, it doesn't mean a whole lot. The judge's ruling in this case did not legalize machine guns for everyone. What it did, his ruling in this case was limited to just this case and just this defendant. And this is not the law now. This was only a ruling in this individual case. For this to apply to everyone, what would have to happen would be that this case would need to get appealed. So the first thing that could happen is it could get appealed to the 10th Circuit. That's the Federal Appeals Court. If the Federal Appeals Court agrees with this judge and says that the machine gun ban is unconstitutional, that creates an interesting situation, because what that ruling would do would apply to the 10th Circuit, but not to the rest of the United States. So we'd have a weird little area where this machine gun ban is unconstitutional, and then all the rest of the federal circuits would kind of be mute on the issue. In order for this ruling to apply to the entire United States, this judge's decision would have to be appealed all the way up to the United States Supreme Court, and then the US Supreme Court from there would have to agree with the judge. And that would make it the law of the land. As of the day we film this, I checked the records, and it does not appear that there is any appeal pending. So stay tuned, and we'll let you know if we hear about any appeals on this issue. But for the time being, don't run out and grab a machine gun, because you still got to follow all the ATF's rules, all the Class 3 licensing, et cetera, et cetera.